So I received my stand up letter, recall from stand down. Stood up again, so off to simulator. I'll get the ball rolling again. Got the shirt, got to iron that, shoes, probably polish those. Got my notes, shirt, couple of change of undies. It's cold in Melbourne at the moment, so a scarf, my toiletries, iPad, obviously my phone, wallet, recharger, power beats, just to keep myself entertained on the plane, license, ID, couple of goggles, couple of torches, some pens. I think I've got some tea there, and I'm going to take my own headset into the simulator given all this COVID stuff. Pack it all in that bag. Ready to go for tomorrow morning, 6 in the morning. Set an alarm for 6 a.m.
Okay, I turned it on.
Hi, I'm Marty. I flew these with these. I fly these with them. Got a wife, kids, play golf, band, happy life, and then Corona. It's a drag, but you're not alone. Have a laugh with me on...
Well, good morning YouTube. 20th of June. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Bracing morning here, about 6 degrees. And I'm off to simulator because I've been stood back up and off to do a currency sim. After you don't fly an aircraft for 45 days, you have to go and prove you can do it again, either in the real aircraft or with a checkie, or in the simulator with a checkie. So me and about, looks like 6 other blokes, or 5 other blokes are jumping in a A330 from Perth to Melbourne. It's about a 3.5 hour flight. Sit around for about an hour and a half and then jump into the sim. I think they've scheduled 4 hours for me and another captain, but I'll let you know how it goes. I put my watch on this morning, my digital solar powered watch. It's completely blank. I mainly wear it when I'm going flying, so as a result, she's dead. And I feel a bit like that digital watch at the moment. We'll see. News on the street about the long haul guys. They're now talking October as a minimum before they'd look at an international network again. And some pundits are even talking past the end of the year. That's got to be tough to deal with for you long haul guys. And I've got nothing new to tell you as far as advice. I just stick to those same things. Get a roof over your head, a meal on the table, lower the bar, get some exercise, do some meditation, call your mates. You're not alone. I know that sounds simple and it's a lot harder to do, but it looks like you could even stand the chance of having an entire year not doing your job. Man, I feel very lucky to be headed off to Melbourne this morning. Gorgeous sunrise. Been giving it some thought as to where I want this channel to go now that I'm headed back to work. I think what I'm going to do is just a bit of a rough and ready what I'm doing at work. I think that'll be really, really beneficial, just to lift the spirits of all you guys that are still off work long term. I'm just going to explain to you what each day is going to entail. You're going to be so familiar with it because you do the same job I do. And then I'm just going to tell you how the day went, any problems I came up with. And I think in that way, somehow, I'm going to try for you to stay involved in the operation. I know that sounds a bit mega, a bit over the top, but I'll give it a go. So for you guys today, I'm going to the sim for currency. I feel a little undercooked, and I reckon most of us feel that way going to the sim. I've still got to go over my recalls a couple more times. I'm pretty happy with my manoeuvres. Limits I've got to look at again. And then the actual core stuff, mate, you and I have been to that many simulators that you know how it's going to go. It's going to be rusty and clunky, but the core's going to be there. I know that when I get the engine failure on that takeoff, we're going to be okay. I'm going to keep that centerline, I'm going to lock that leg. When we get to rotate, I'm going to really slowly rotate that nose up, bit slower than a normal rotate to a slightly lower attitude, and I'll wait for the guy next to me to say positive rate, and we'll go for the gear. Old Bold I used to fly with, he used to talk to me about the V1 cut and say, mate, all you do is get it airborne, put the gear up and fly at V2. What's the problem? And he's right, it is that simple. It is that simple. So we'll see how it goes. I'm actually more fearful of that pre-brief than I am the actual flying, but I'll tell you at the end of the sim, I'll give you a little update on how I went. But I'm going to do that with everything I do from here on in, just to keep you guys involved while you're not at work. On that note, on Monday, I'm heading up to Gina Reinhardt's mine. I get back from sim tomorrow, packs back in the morning. There's only one Perth-Melbourne flight a day and Melbourne-Perth flight a day at the moment. And then on Monday, jump in a jet and up to Jimbata. And then I think I've got like a 10-hour sit on the ground. So it'll be a good chance to talk. I'll let you know how it all goes. One really odd thing I had to do before I even departed West Australia, I had to get a good to go pass, G2G pass. And it's a quarantine pass to get back into my home state of West Australia. You had to do it online, you had to say who you were, what your reason was for travelling, and any exemptions. So we're exempt from some of the quarantine restrictions being domestic aircrew. And then that goes into their database. Even then, apparently there's been some confusion with police turning up to pilots' doors and demanding to know where they are and why they aren't quarantining. All these things have teething problems, but I think everyone's trying to do the right thing. Anyway, I got one of those organised, and then you end up with an app on your phone with a little stamp that indicates that you're okay to return to the state on Sunday. Strange times. Had some really good feedback on my first Honest Pilot series video. It was about the individual. That video was so easy to make. I just banged it out in about less than a day. Had it done and dusted in a day. I'm doing the second one now, Honest Pilot team, about how we come together as individuals and form a team. And there's a lot I want to say, but it's so much more complicated. I'm finding it quite hard to do the video. I'll get that out by the end of next week, but yeah, I'm finding it really hard. At last note, I've got 350 subscribers. That's fantastic, 350 subscribers, that's so good. I'm amazed there's that many people out there watching, but I made myself up a little graph just to see what 350 people look like, and it's a lot of people. You wouldn't want them all standing at your house wanting a beer. So thank you so much for watching these videos. The first Honest Pilot one got over 400 views, so clearly it's hit a nerve there. That's good. If you're really, can I just ask you guys, if you're enjoying these videos, can you please share them with somebody? And the reason being is that I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and why I'm trying to get there is then you can start spending small amount of coin, which I want to put back into the Perth Pilot Fund. So if you can share these videos and I don't know, thumbs up, like them, whatever YouTube wants you to do, but sharing is just there's a little button down the bottom of any of the videos. If you can share it with someone you know, that'd help me. Just share it with somebody that you think may be into aviation, may get something out of this. I'm just about building that sense of community. I'm about involving the pilots that aren't flying right now, and I'm just about saying a day without a laugh, no good. You want a day with a laugh. So that's what I'm after. Anyway, think about it. I was so busy chatting to you guys, I missed my turn off for the general car park here at the airport for the QANTAS staff. This is the way I normally come for the 5 Donga parks. In Perth we've got the tiny little demountable, and out the front of that is 5 parks, and they're highly regarded because they're only about 40 or 50 metres from the airport itself. And if you're doing a 4 AM Newman return, it's only available for day returns. So rare as hen's teeth, and they're normally gone by 5 in the morning on a normal day's flying. Anyway, I'll go to the general car park. I don't want to do the wrong thing by the company. Also, I want to thank the company for being cool about me doing these videos. They're aware of them. I've received several messages from senior management thanking me and also supporting me. So I appreciate that very much. It shows the sort of company I work for. I reckon a lot of other companies would have shut this down ages ago, and I think they can see that I'm trying to do something positive and trying to involve the guys that aren't as lucky as me to be at work. Just looking at the general car park for the general public, it made she's only about half full, way less than normal. Normally all the car parks are filled to capacity. We've got such a lovely little base here in Perth. I was based in Sydney for a while and Brisbane for a while. Sydney, I know you've got to fight through an hour and a half of traffic to then get into a multi-storey car park. Or in Melbourne, you're going to be going to a massive car park that's still a bus ride away from the airport. Mate, in Perth, I live in North Perth. When I was a younger, more sprightly version of myself, I used to ride a push bike to work. And only used to take me about 30 minutes. I'd be here, park your bike against the demountable, stroll up the escalator, and then you're at work. It's like stepping back 15 years in time, and that's not a criticism. That's our overflow car park. It's completely empty. Wow, let's see if this thing still works. Gold. Always park my car right at the back of the car park because I'm getting old, I forget. Hopefully that's the guy going to refuel my plane. Mate, eerily quiet at the airport. There is nothing going on. So such a strange situation. We've got work starting to ramp up short haul slightly. We've gone from 5% of our normal schedule to around 15% is what they're saying. But even now we're starting to see some more flights in open time, and they're starting to stand up extra people asking for expressions of interest into the next bid period. So domestic just seems to be starting to simmer. Long haul, absolutely nothing, obviously. And yet some of the states aren't opening their borders, and until we get that, we're not going to get people travelling around Australia, which is obviously what we want. Seems a really odd situation. The Prime Minister himself is in effect calling for the borders to come down, yet the premiers aren't doing it. Way above my pay scale. Although you can't argue with the results. We've had just over 100 people die due to this COVID thing in Australia. The UK's had over 40,000 people. So once again, I'm thinking that I live in a very lucky country. Come up to my normal door that I come in. Terminal currently closed. Proceed to Terminal 4. No business.
All 7 of New South Wales's new infections are return travellers.
Perth's not normally that busy anyway, but this is crazy. Feel like such a plane spotter. A fly well pack. In good hands this morning. I know the 2 techies, especially the first officer, Liam Turner. Well done, young man. I was saying to the boys in the planning room, the 2 techies, I made a video about sim prep, but I didn't follow my own advice. I've still got a little bit to do on the plane. I say that, but I normally end up just watching the movies. Oh, there's a little maggot.
Welcome to the 1960s, when Qantas...
Come ring the bell, come gather round. The time has come to make a sound. Oh, to moan and wail, to carry on. We can share our pain. Now that she's gone, where have you gone? So uncork that wine and unlock my heart. It's time to move on, so let's make a start. To moan and wail, to carry on. We can share our pain. She's gone. Oh, where have you gone? And I can't believe that wine.